get some bands and I get some bands on my little baby, yeah. I get some bands and I get some bands on my little baby, yeah. I get some bands and I get some bands on my little baby, yeah. I get some bands and I get some bands on my little baby, yeah. Lace up and drip it down, take her wherever, yeah. Say the word and we take trips, I'm with whatever, yeah. Don't bring me down, she build me up, not talking teddy bears. She not Bonnie, I'm not Clyde, but if it need, we're down the ride. His and hers the wave, we got the same taste.
Today we're going to be doing big brakes on the R34.
Gonna be snookering you tonight.
So this car, when it came from Japan, I'm pretty sure was owned by an old lady, because when I got it there was receipts in there for things like prune juice and fish tea and things, and it was completely stock. Being the base model, it comes with the base set of brakes. They are tiny little stoppers. So keeping in line with everything, you know, COVID-19, keeping it safe, had a look in the shed of what I've got, and I've actually got a set of Z32 stroke GTR, you know, style brakes in there. So we're going to swap these out. Now the reason this come about is because I actually need to change the track width. So this car's got the drift angle kit on it, which makes the wheels sit out further, but also more of a camber. With that, we can't put the front wings on and get them to tuck as we want with the lowering air suspension. So what we're going to have to do is actually change back the lower control arms, change back the tie rods, the steering arms, so that we get our track width back in. Then we're going to fit our bigger brakes. The trouble is that the wheels won't clear the calipers, so we need to then space it out a little bit. So what we're going to do then is use camber arms at the top to bring it back in, so it'll be less track width, but still a bit cambered, which should then tuck it nicely under the arch. So first thing to do is to show you through the parts we're going to use. So all this stuff had kicking about from other projects and things. So we've got a set of lower control arms here, which we're going to tidy up and take off the lock stops, because these are completely stock ones that are just really rusty and need a good bit of love. So we'll take off those stock locks so we can get a bit more lock still with the kit we've got on. We're going to use we're not going to use this whole steering rack. We're just going to use the standard arms off the sides. We'll tidy those up as well. Side there looks like they've been changed at some point. We have our brakes, which we had kicking about. So these are, as I say, the aluminium casted ones of the either Z32 or R32 GTR brakes, or maybe 33 GSTs. I can't remember exactly what they came on. Hit me in the comments below if you know all about your brakes. We've got matching discs for them as well, so as long as they match up, that's fine. Also found these braided brake lines which do fit into the back, and I'm pretty sure that's a Skyline style fitting on there, so hopefully we can do those. And then these camber arms, which look like they were probably Driftworks camber arms. First thing is to get these cleaned up, because they are not going on my car looking like that. So tiny brake caliper. So I'm under the car and I wanted to show you what we've got on here for the lock kit. So this has got a modified subframe which had the rack moved closer to it. We've got extended lower control arms. We've got extended tie rods which are on here, and we've got a modified knuckle as well. This isn't the final kit that's going to be staying on the car. This is just one I had that I put together using a Bob Dove Motorsport frame, but the rest of it is someone else. All of the stuff will be Bob Dove Motorsport when it's all put together. But for the moment, what we're going to, we've also got some angle arms as well. The tension arms, they're angled out the way. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace these lower control arms that we've been cleaning up, replace the tie rods with standard length ones. That will bring this whole thing back in, less camber and less track width, and then we'll add a little bit of camber if needed with the top camber arms. So we'll replace these ones here with the orange ones you saw earlier to give it a bit more angle if needed to tuck under the arch. This right here will give you a difference in the length. So this is our extended one that we're taking off from the extra lock kit, and this is the standard one that we're putting back on. Just while this one's off, I'm taking the chance to loosen off the track rod end because we'll need to adjust that at some point, and I'll whack some grease in here because this is to keep this nice and lubricated as well. So we've got the stock level control arm and tie rod on, and I could just whack the wing back on and it'd probably clear with a little bit of arch rolling, but I want to fit the bigger brakes to this. So to do that, we're going to need to step the wheel out by 10mm spacer on it, which then obviously is going to bring our track back further out. So to be able to tuck it in, we're going to need to add camber arms, which means this top arm off. So what I'm going to do now, take the wheel off, braking caliper off, strut out, and top arm off, and we'll get to replacing all that. Camber arms are on and adjusted. The coilover is set to the right height to match the other side, so hopefully that'll all be okay, but we can always adjust that a little bit if need be. So next up we would put the brakes and stuff back on. Because we're going to be running that 10mm spacer, I'm going to upgrade the wheel studs to a 65mm from Driftworks. Reason being, anything over a 5mm spacer, you really want to run extended studs. You want to get enough turns of the wheel nut onto the stud, and you know, sort of 6, 7 or 8 turns is probably the minimum you want it. So we're going to take these off just by putting a nut on, hammering it out. There's a little indent on this side here that Nissan have put so you can pull them out through the back, and then putting the new one in, putting a socket over it and tightening it up. You can get, you know, stud fitting and removal tools, which cost like 50 quid or whatever it is. You know, but really they're not needed. You can literally just whack a decent sized socket, as long as it sits flat on this surface, it'll work a beaut, and then just tighten up a nut over it and it will just pull it in to place. I do put a little bit of copper grease just on the edges here just to help it go into place as well. So we've got our 5 extended study boys in here, and so they're all in and nice and tight and flush. And I've also taken the time with the brake caliper just to fit up the braided line, take the discs out, scuff them up because they've been sat for quite a long time, put some fresh copper grease on the back and just make sure everything moves freely. So that's all good. So all we need to do now, whack our disc on, whack our caliper on, do as quick a changeover as we can of the brake line so we don't lose too much fluid and then bleed the brakes. Part of what I did with us cleaning this was just make sure the bleed nipple was clean and free and moves in and out before we fit it to the car, because it's a bit easier when it's all out. And then we should be good to pop a wheel on and put it back on the ground. So here we are, finished product, nice and tucked. Need to do a little bit of touch up on the arch where it's split a little bit, but that's from rolling it. Got the caliper in there. Now some of you might be saying, Rob, that's a manky old caliper. Don't worry, I have another set which is going to be stripping down and it's going to be powder coated. When that's done, I'll swap these over, but I really want you to get this fitted up and make sure everything does fit. So I've popped a link in the description for Bob Dove Motorsport for their Facebook page if you want to go and like them, and if you want any bits built then get in contact, like the lock kit and stuff. I'll do a full install once I've got all the pieces for that and show you through the quality of it, because it's really good. I would like to say massive thanks to Sam, who came down and lent me some 10mm spaces, or gave me some 10mm spaces to use, because for some reason I only had one, and that really sort of meant I can just crack on with everything. So his Instagram's on the page, go and follow. He's got a really cool looking BMW. So I've got lots of content coming up soon on the different cars, so not just 34, we're doing the roll cage on the RX-7, that's built from scratch. We're going to be bending all the tube. We've also got some body kit bits to put on the 180SX, plus in the next few months that will be having a full RB conversion as well. So lots of stuff to enjoy. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, it'll give you a notification every time I post something. See you soon.
Raising the Tobagos, we growing like fresh tomatoes. Them boys on fire, too fuego. We pass it round, hot potato. Everything is new wavo. I'm with my sweetie like Quavo. Need my cheese, need that queso. Need my bread, need that bankroll.